It's a cold, bitter winter here in Britain. It has been 3 centuries since the Black Death wiped out the majority of the world's population. Now, England is about to be hit yet again. The bacterium Vibrio cholerae, better known as cholera, is about to decimate England's numbers without warning. Today we are in the city London, one of England's most populous cities. This disease would later become known as one of the most deadly epidemics in the British Isles. But how did it come to this? How did the disease originate? And how did it spread? For more information, we have interviewed an expert on this disease, Tyler Krautkramer.
So, Tyler, what was the origin of the disease and how did it start in England?
Well, the disease originated in the Ganges Delta. Through trade, it was able to spread into Europe and eventually to Britain around the time 1831. And the Industrial Revolution and lack of hygiene in England helped cholera spread in record time. There was a policy that was passed called laissez-faire, which provided less strict regulations on the private companies, and these private companies often dumped sewage into the public drinking supply.
What exactly does this disease do to the body?
Well, at the time, cholera was very fatal due to the lack of medical advancements during the 19th century. Symptoms of this disease include diarrhea, vomiting, nausea, and dehydration, just to name a few. The dehydration can lead to electrolyte imbalance, which is the loss of minerals that maintain the balance of the fluids in the body. It was definitely a horrible epidemic, but soon a man named John Snow was able to find the source of the disease.
Now, we know that cholera originated in 1831 in the British Isles. At the time, most people thought the disease was airborne, but an investigating doctor named John Snow decided to create a map of where the disease was spreading throughout the city of London. By creating this map, he was able to notice that the patients infected all lived near the same water source. By removing the handle of the water pump that was causing the disease, Dr. John Snow was able to diminish the cases of cholera in the city. In 1858, Joseph Bazalgette created an effective sewage system that significantly improved the hygienic state of London. Because of his system, Europe was able to recover from this disease. It's another regular day in the quiet city of Madison, Wisconsin. A young butcher at a small restaurant is doing his normal job and was inspecting the quality of the chopped meat when he came in contact with a piece of sliced pork that would be the beginning of a horrific epidemic. He didn't know it at the time, but he had just contracted the H1N1 virus, better known as swine flu. But how did it come to this? How did the disease originate? And how did it spread? It all started in 1918, when a virus began an influenza pandemic that would result in an estimated 50 to 100 million deaths worldwide, more than any other influenza pandemic in history. During the second and more severe wave of human disease in 1918, herds of swine were reported to be infected with a respiratory illness with similar characteristics to the first pandemic. Over time, this illness changed, and by 1998, it was a triple reassortment virus composed of genes from bird, human, and pig viruses found in North American swine populations. The unfortunate butcher was the first in the U.S. to contract this form of triple reassortment virus, and although the virus was not fatal, he had unusually severe lower respiratory tract infections and diarrhea. The first major outbreak of this particular strand of H1N1 was in April of 2009 in the state of California. By June 11, 2009, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention had documented nearly 30,000 cases of swine flu across 74 countries. The symptoms of this type of flu ranged from fever, sore throats, muscle pains, severe headaches, coughing, weakness, and general discomfort. Over time, scientists have developed vaccinations for the virus, and different governments have halted the shipment of pigs, resulting in the end of the swine flu epidemic.
So how does the swine flu vaccine work?
The process of this vaccination is actually quite simple. There are two modes of vaccination, through intranasal spray or by injection. All we do is inject the patient with thimerosal, a mercury-based preservative used in manufacturing of different vaccines, as well as a killed sample of the virus. The vaccination does not actually cure the virus, it only prevents the virus from entering the body.
So how accessible is this vaccination to the public?
The vaccination is available to the public. Anyone can get it. there's a limited number of shots, so people should be patient if they want to get it.
Who is eligible to take this vaccine, and who shouldn't?
As a warning, there are traces of egg protein for those who have egg allergies. Those that already have the influenza must depend on their immune system. The people that say getting the vaccination is dangerous clearly have not studied this vaccine, or they are allergic to eggs. Besides those people, everyone over 6 months old should take this vaccine.
So after all that, would you say it's safe to consume pork products?
Yes, it is definitely safe to eat pork. Even if a pig was a carrier of the H1N1 virus, if the meat was properly cooked, then it is safe to eat.
Although they were two very different diseases, cholera and swine flu still shared a small number of characteristics. Cholera and swine flu were both major diseases evident throughout the world, as there have been many confirmed cases for the two diseases in all continents except for Antarctica. In addition, both diseases were a result of industrialization. For example, steamships from India that traveled to Europe during the 19th century facilitated the spread of cholera into Britain. Furthermore, cholera spread due to industrialization processes, including the manufacturing of pipes connecting cities to one water source, leading to a lack of proper sanitation. Swine flu started in the pig industry, when people butchered pigs carrying the influenza, which transferred into humans. From there, the disease spread mostly through fluids and mucus when one sneezes, but advances in industrial technology that sped up the process of cutting and packaging meat also increased the spread of swine influenza, which led to the deaths of even more people. Even though both diseases were eventually subsided, the end of the H1N1 epidemic was made possible through the application of medical technology, while the containment of cholera came about because of research on the prevention of spreading diseases. Clearly, cholera was devastating, not only due to a gross lack of hygiene, but also due to a lack of essential medical knowledge. Then, by the time of H1N1, there was a great increase in suppression of the disease through vaccines and other medical treatments. Another major difference between the two is that cholera was spread through the water sources, while H1N1 was spread through organisms taken as hosts. In conclusion, these diseases' method of treatment, method of spreading, and how much it affected the world all depended on the time frame. After events like the scientific revolution took place, we were more knowledgeable about the world and the methods for curing diseases in an efficient manner.